Hey everyone, Alex here with Off the Cuff Reviews. I am back again to bring you guys a special new video. This time we're going to be covering another short film from Ari Aster from my Ari Aster short film series that I'm doing on this channel. We've already covered Strange Thing About the Johnsons and C'est La Vie. Now we are going to be covering the movie, basically. This one is a short film, and all of these were recommended by my friend Ashley. She's great, and her link is down below in the description, so go check her channel out and give this video a thumbs up. Let's get into it. All right.
What the hell? Are you serious? What are you doing?
I'm asleep.
So what's that then? Wait, am I supposed to find this funny?
Honey, I don't even know what's happening right now.
So what is that then?
Me.
Oh my god, 4 months between me and her for that part!
Honey.
You're the one who took me to the fucking callbacks! That's my mother. Don't ask me why. She used to be an actress, although there's no proof of it. Now she just tortures me because it's my turn at the wheel. And by the way, I'm
I
not
love how
one of those
all of
entitled
these
LA cunts who
short
doesn't
films
appreciate anything
now,
and just
like the
goes
last
around
two that I've
writing
watched,
the
have
hand that feeds
been
her. My mother's hand doesn't feed me. My father's does, and it feeds her too. Although trying to
where they kind of like break the
If
fourth
you already
wall
think I sound
and
like
they
a bitch,
talk
then
to the
first of all,
camera.
you don't know her, and
I like
second
that.
of all, she's still my mother, and she's still the most important person in the world to me. But if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be honest, and if the truth hurts, then look, I'm sorry, but you probably just haven't heard enough of it. Todd overdevelops his body while his brain just erodes from total lack of activity, which didn't stop my friend Mona from blowing him in the bathroom at the Glendale Galleria. She says she knows this sounds insane, but she only did it to get closer to me. Bitch. This is Cooper. He's really shy. Aren't you, Coop? Hey, do you want to show off your monographs?
Monographs. Me.
My dad's like this crazy Renaissance man. My mom calls him a sociopath, but that's just the rejection talking. She likes to say that he left me too, but I'm not the one who gave him a heart attack, and she's not the one who talks to him every other day. Anyway, he's got this Asian family now with some environmentalist slut he met.
Could you
in Maui,
imagine
so
if
he
Ari
basically
Aster just did like a
escaped
whole
Alcatraz
movie
to
where
walk
it was
himself
just like
himself.
somebody talking to the
The point
camera
is,
the whole
he
time for
dabbles.
like 2.5
He owns
hours?
a couple of magazines, and he manages a bunch of buildings, and he made a shitload on the stock market. Although he likes to threaten that times are tough and it's time to scale back, which of course never actually happens.
Shandy, did you clean the pool?
Yes. Did you fix your car yet?
Well, my car is my car, so it doesn't really concern you,
But
does
is
it?
the pool my pool? Because that does seem to concern me. Anyway, because of the recession, we had to move from our bigger house, which really only sucked because it was on the beach. But beyond that, the economy hasn't really affected my quality of life, even though my more hyperbolic friends would love to complain otherwise. FML, comma, I'm going to kill myself, exclamation mark, lol.
Me.
My mom bought herself fake tits.
But if that's not me, I don't know what is.
She said it was a gift from a secret admirer, which was already bending fragility to the breaking point. But turned out she had this horrible allergy to silicone. She basically almost died.
Cooper, have you seen my dog beside, please? Cooper. Anyway, when she came back from the hospital, she was like beaming in this insane way because she supposedly found God, which, by the way, you think only happens in the movies, but she even came back with like a rosary for a limb, which, by the way, her doctor gave
pretty sure he's the one who converted her, which I'm pretty sure has to be against the law. She probably mistook his fanaticism for romantic interest and thought they were going to get married or something. But I did some thorough investigating, and it turns out he's totally married with this crazy racial hybrid for a family and spends his summers doing missionary work at this bizarro cult in Africa. Mom pretends not to care and that she never actually liked him in the first place. Another example of her horrifying denial. I personally don't believe in God, and I think it's ridiculous and hypocritical to all of a sudden believe in him the minute things get dark or you think you're going to die. But I also don't explicitly not believe in God because...
That is true.
Who knows? What was that?
Just answer emails. And don't get me wrong, I hate atheists just as much as I hate religious jerks. I mean, either way, you're just stubborn and closed, and you're not listening to anything new because your puny brain's already made up its stupid mind. Like, just for instance, look at nature. Have you even actually looked? It's amazing, and I don't know who or what is responsible for all this amazing stuff. And
The Earth.
And I don't want to be the one who said the whole Jesus or God or Buddha thing was bullshit just so I can die and find out that it wasn't bullshit, and then I've got to go through an eternity regretting it. But I also don't want to waste my time while I'm here just sitting on the sidelines talking to a fucking statue either. I guess that's just like the question. And honestly, who even cares after a while? It's like change the fucking channel, am I right? So this is the party room. My dad used to use it for functions and fundraisers or whatever, but since he split and my mom's a hermit, it's pretty much been my job to keep the dust off. I usually invite about 1/3 actual friends and 2/3 industry friends who are mostly just assistants to casting directors and agents and producers and stuff. They might be mostly annoying assholes now, but in 5 years they'll be the ones calling me with good news. But that's the philosophy, at least.
This isn't bad so far.
What do you want me to tell you, Charlie?
It does remind me of C'est La Vie a lot. It has like the same exact formula.
That's me on the first episode of the 4th season of One Heart Apart. My character was basically this giant slut who dies from an abortion. It was really controversial at the time, and the Huffington Post even interviewed me about it. But what it really did for me was it expanded my network times like 100, and I made some really great contacts. Also, the casting director for the show is always doing really big shit. So now
speak of C'est La Vie,
half the battle.
isn't that the
Oh my
guy?
god. Last summer, a skydiver whose chute didn't open fell through the glass right over there, dying horribly, but instantly, thank God. When the police and the paramedics arrived, they turned him over, and apparently his skin was being eaten away by some poisonous plant he fell into. It turned out that our old housekeeper, Milena, was growing this crazy arsenal of poisonous shit, like 20 different species. And when she was being questioned, she just sat there and stared. Didn't say or even acknowledge anything. But who knows what would have happened to us if that guy's chute had opened. Another reason why I don't not believe in God. I don't really date that much, and not for the same reason as my friend Janie, who's just hopeless. It's more of a career decision than a personal one.
I love how big the door
But
is.
my second to last boyfriend, John,
Like,
was
what?
this really smart, really sensitive guy who was just amazing at painting and drawing and writing and literally knew everything about everything. Okay, I basically feel like most artists just have secondhand taste. You know, like movies or bands that people told them to like, and so they just strap it on as a badge or something. But I really think an artist is only as good as his inspirations. And the thing about John was that he was really smart, but also totally unpretentious. And whenever he gave me a piece of art or a book to read, it was actually great or actually exciting in a way you could see and didn't have to read about. And his art was like that too. The only problem was that he'd be the one arguing with you about it. He was so insecure and just aggressively neurotic. Like, for instance, he was 5'4", which is basically the definition of who cares. You could totally tell that he was obsessed with it, which doesn't exactly help if you're trying not to be. And also, he didn't come from a lot of money. Again, who cares? And he worked in the daytime as a valet. Again,
Big mood.
who cares? And he was completely indifferent to what he called fashion, but what I call
You know who
grooming,
I'm talking
which would
to.
be totally whatever if only he himself was okay with it, but he wasn't. So then, okay, so there was this rap party for that show I did, One Heart Apart, and John didn't want to go, which, yeah, I probably prompted him to not want to go, if I'm being honest. There was this actor there from the show, Nick Bradley, who was basically retarded, but everyone was completely in love with him because he did cameos and features, and apparently he was interested in me because I pretty much couldn't care less. But long story short, we hooked up, superficial sparks flew, I broke up with John, which made him weep in a way that I never want to see another man weep. So, of course, the Nick thing lasted for like 2 days, obviously. And then a couple months after I broke things off with the first guy, John, the artist, he was diagnosed with leukemia. And I only saw him like one time, but he was already well into the chemo and pretty much bald and could barely breathe. And I wasn't sure if he recognized me, but like right after the nurse introduced me, like before I could even say anything,
This just gets so sad.
he grabbed my arm and begged me, like literally begged me to kill him. And so I basically had this huge panic attack and like tore out of there and ran home and cried nonstop for like 2 weeks, during which time I guess he died, or I don't guess he died. He died. And now, when I think about it, well, I guess I really dodged a bullet.
Jesus.
I was supposed to be waiting on a call from my agent, but this house is notorious for having zero reception, which during pilot season, when your entire career hinges on the next call. See?
Oh my god.
Mom! First official Mary. I guess he wasn't a real scout since nothing ever came of it. I mean, that wasn't even the good night. The first night we went up was my first time at a play, my first time in front of an audience, and somewhere in the second act I got to this place where I was just completely, I don't want to sound too whatever about it, but all my ego fell away, all my self-consciousness, and I wasn't posturing or playing something. It was like I was lifted out of myself, or not lifted, like dissolved almost. And every time I noticed that I was in this place, I realized I had a choice, and I chose to stay in it. I mean, it was a choice. And I know that sounds gay, but that's what it was. And I don't think I felt it any of the other nights, even though people said I was just as good those nights too. I don't think I've ever felt it again. Maybe sort of, but only ever sort of. You know, I also don't believe that those things just go away forever either. I mean, what if I had chosen not to come back into my body that night? Is that even possible to just take that feeling and live in it? Or is the chase just the whole thing?
Okay. Okay, I have some thoughts. I really enjoyed that last bit. Like it, I really enjoyed the dialogue of the last, like, I say 2 minutes there, but I feel like it almost felt like forced in there at the end. But I did enjoy this whole thing as a whole. And I, Ashley was like, "You wait till you hear, or wait till you see the scene where they talk about cancer, and I want to see your reaction." Like, I don't know. That was wild. This one was pretty good. I like how it's kind of dealing with, like, a lot of the shorts that I've seen so far from him are kind of dealing with existential themes, and they kind of go along the same thing. I like how he kind of brought that guy in from the other one, and it really felt, besides like the last part and how it felt forced, I do think the whole thing felt cohesive when you look at it, like when you take a step back and look at it. And I really enjoyed this one, actually. And I think Ari Aster's pretty talented, and I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot more from him. If you guys like this, give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment, subscribe, share with your friends. I do apologize. You guys will be getting a really special video coming Friday, this Friday. If it doesn't drop Friday, it might drop Saturday, but be on the lookout. Friday, maybe early Saturday morning. It is going to be a special one. I have talked about this months ago that I was going to do this, and you guys are finally going to be getting this video. And it has been requested, so just be on the lookout. You guys will definitely enjoy that one. Also, dropping a Patreon very, very shortly. Next video is going to have details about the Patreon as well as the link. There's going to be a special non-spoiler review on my Patreon of a movie that just dropped recently on Netflix, so keep a lookout for that as well. I will see you guys on the flip side. Stay safe.